For all the latest community news and events.
103.2 Preston FM.
Your community, your radio.
It's nice to welcome our first guest on this Thursday morning into the studio, and it's Billy Martin. So, Billy, a very good morning to you.
Good morning to you. I'm not really the largest person in the country.
I know. I bet our listeners at home had a visualization of us trying to get you into the studio through the door. That's right, up the stairs and through the door. Anyway, it's really nice to meet you. So I think if I get the title right, you're a children's entertainment, but also you're skip at the United Reformed Church in Penwortham Scout Group, which is the largest group in the country.
That's right. Yeah, it's 5th Penwortham Scout Group, and we meet at Penwortham URC on Liverpool Road. In Penwortham, and we are, there's 460 odd members within the Scout Group. We run on a Monday, a Tuesday, a Thursday, a Friday, and a Sunday night. We have Explorers on a Sunday night as well, and we have Beavers starting from 6 years, 6 to 8 years, Beaver Scouts, 8 to 10 for Cubs, and then 10.5 to 14 for Scouts, and then we have Explorer Scouts, that run from 14 to 18, and then we have network scouters that are from sort of 18 to 25, and then you become a leader.
Wow, so really active then, a really active
It is a
group.
really big scout group, and really active, and there's a fantastic set of leaders down there as well that are there and very committed every night to getting down there and putting on a fantastic programme for all the kids that come down and join us,
And I take it that Skip is Skipper, is it?
I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure where the name comes from, because
I wasn't too sure.
The Cub names all sort of come from the Jungle Book.
That's right.
Rudyard Kipling and the Jungle Book with Arcala, who's the leader of the pack. But I'll be honest with you, I don't know where the Skip comes from, and it's never Skip anyway. It's always Bill, where are you, Bill?
Yeah, I could.
What are we doing next, Bill? I have 35 kids coming to me, sort of. What are we doing next, Bill? They sound like a flock of seagulls coming towards you.
Yeah, in a way, it's like, are we there yet? Isn't it?
Are we nearly there? Yeah.
I would imagine you're hearing this all night long.
Yeah, I mean, we start at sort of 7:30, and we try to get a game in, and then we have a main activity. We do the flag break, which is where we all salute the flag, and the Queen's our patron, so we sort of do that as a mark of respect at the beginning of every meeting. Every section does that, and then we sort of have a few games, and then there's usually an activity on for the evening, whatever it might be, I mean, we did some fake wounds the other week, which you can see.
Fake wounds,
yeah. Well, it's a more interesting way of doing first aid.
Making it more entertaining.
It makes it a little bit more interesting, where they get salt dough and they put it on their arm and some fake blood, and they make some gory wounds, and they enjoy doing it, and eventually they get around to dressing them. But it sort of makes first aid a little bit more interesting, So.
Yeah, I could see the enjoyment. I could see the enjoyment in doing that.
Oh yeah, they quite like sticking forks through these things, and so that they look really gruesome, and then blood dripping down their arms.
Yeah, different from my days, eh? And these days, the groups are mixed, are they?
That's right. Yeah, we have boys and we have girls. Recently, there was in my scout group on a Tuesday night. We have a Meteor Scout group, and at one point we had 36 scouts, and about 22 were girls rather than boys, so we get a lot of girls. We have female leaders, male leaders as well, but yeah, there's a lot of girls. It's very popular with girls.
Because, I mean, often, sadly, young people often get, in many ways, vilified in the press, that they're hanging around the streets, that they're not doing anything useful, so it's really interesting to hear that, you've got so many young people coming along And I would imagine throughout the year, not only is it enjoyable and that for them, but I would imagine they're also doing lots of rewarding things to maybe around charities, etc.
That's it. I mean, they do. The Scouts, and they all have awards to head towards. They have challenges that we sort of set them, and there's badges to be earned and complete. And then you end up with, your Chief Scout Silver Award or your Chief Scout Gold Award at the end of your time in Cubs or Scouts. And we set different challenges of things that you can do, things in the community. Go and visit a radio station, for example.
That's right. Yes.
Which is what I'm trying to here today to try and organise. And visit a fire station. Plus the fact we do fundraising for things, water aid, different things as well. But yeah, it's about keeping them active, isn't it? Finding things. There's no other organisation, really, or there's not many other organisations really about where you can do different things, so many different things. Whereas one night you can be going rock climbing and abseiling. The next night you can be visiting a fire station or a radio station. The next night you're making bird feeders,
Yeah.
Or going swimming, we try and vary the programmes. I'm sure all Scout leaders do, vary the programme so that it keeps it really, really interesting for kids these days, so that they keep coming back, and you don't get them hanging around on the street corners and, they keep coming back. So,
and it's nice to know that they're not stuck, behind a computer or with the tablet all the time, that they're actually doing something out there. Although I would imagine they bring the phones and the tablets along to the Scout group.
Yeah, they do bring the phones along, and we do ask them to put them away. But I mean, that's life, isn't it? I mean, it's we all have a phone these days, don't we? Really, and it is nice to see. My daughter's just joined my Scout group, and it's nice to see her not on. Is it one of the games, Minecraft and Friv and all that lot, and it's nice to get them off that, off the tablets and sort of out and about and in the fresh air. So many kids sort of stay inside these days, and they rarely come out, don't they? It's nice to get them out and about. I mean, we go through every so often. We go through. What hobbies people have, what hobbies the kids have, and a lot of kids have sort of guitar or piano, or we do dance. And I had a couple of Scouts that what are your hobbies? And we don't have any hobbies. We just talk to each other on Facebook and things like that. And
and you kind of think, don't you?
Like, okay,
that's right.
It wouldn't happen in my day. So no, you were out and about, and you were off, weren't you?
So what is it about then? Is it about the area? How come that Penwortham is such a thriving area when it comes to the numbers that you've got in the Scout groups? Is it the area, or is it probably the leadership and the things that, as you say, the activities that are on offer?
Yeah, I mean, I think Penwortham's got a very large catchment area anyway. There's quite a few high schools. And I think there's Priory, and there's Girls High, and there is All Hallows just in Penwortham. I can't think of any others, but there's a lot of primary schools in there as well, and they're all sort of they're all knocking about, and there's a lot of kids. It's a quite highly dense sort of area, So, but I mean, we do, like I say, we do have such a varied programme. It just seems to, if your mate goes, you go along with your mate, don't you? Or you get a lot of full classes going, coming down, and the entire class wants to move up together from Cubs to Scouts, and sometimes there's no room, and you do have to split them up a little bit. It's they do sort of all stick together, don't they?
So when did you join the Scouts then?
I joined Cubs when I was 6.5. In fact, I think I joined earlier than that. My Cub leader let me in because he sort of, my mum was going to be a leader, and because my older brother had been naughty, she was asked to come down and be a Cub leader to keep an eye on him.
Nice way of doing it.
So I think I got involved quite early at about 6.5, somewhere in Cubs, I was sort of coming down, but and I just stayed. I was in a group called Third Leyland, which is now sadly no longer with us, but I went through Cubs, Scouts. We didn't have a Venture Scout unit, so we sort of started one up, and then I became a young leader, a Cub leader, a Scout leader, and then I became Group Scout leader of that group. And then I decided personally it was time to have a break and have a couple of children, and of my own, look after my own children for a while. And then a friend of mine, Mike Sullivan, got me roped back in. Well, I'll not say roped back in, but asked me to come down and help out. To run a scout group again. So,
yes, I know the way it happens.
So I sort of got back involved, yeah.
So how different is it then, from the days when you were a teenager in the Scouts? It must have changed. You must have seen lots of changes. Apart from the fact, of course, now there are mixed groups.
There are. There's the obvious thing is there's girls involved now, boys and girls, and they're together. And it has changed a lot. Like I say, the things with the first aid, like going back to the first aid and the fake wounds, it's not as serious as all that anymore. It's you've got to move with the times, like everything, haven't you?
Yes. Yeah.
We do a lot more activities and go out and about now, and it's not quite as regimented as it once was. Got to put the fun in it.
Yeah. So throughout 2014, do they still have the kind of annual meet-up of Scouts across the country, or do they have camps?
They do have camps, yeah. Our Scout group, 5th Penwortham, we have a winter camp and a summer camp. In 2014, there's actually an international camp, Red Rose International Camp. That's in July, I think it is. It's on the website anyway, if you just Google sort of Red Rose 2014. There's a big camp going on there, and there's scouters from all over sort of Europe, international camps. So
that must be a brilliant meet-up. Where do they usually have that?
Sometimes it's at Great Tower, sometimes it's at Waddicker, which is over at Goosner in Beaconsfield. Yes, yeah. It has been sort of on previous years. I think we're up at Westmoreland this year, which is just off Junction 36. Up near the South Lakes, Westmoreland Showground, I think it is.
Right. So that must be brilliant when it's a kind of international event and you get Scouts from all over the place attending.
There's plenty of sort of badge swapping and address swapping and to keep in touch, because you can always have a camp over, in Holland or over in America. You've got a contact over there then, haven't you, to meet up with. But there's neckerchief swapping going on, and it's kids from all over the world, and it makes it fantastic,
So the other side of your job as well, how did you get into that? Because the two are in some ways linked to children's entertainer. So
children's entertainer.
How did you get involved with that then?
Why did I start up a children's entertainment business? My wife was. I'm actually a fully time-served printer.
Right.
And my wife was on maternity leave, and I was working as a printer, and we went to the bank account one day and there was no money in the bank account, and I thought the wages hadn't gone in, and the business, the guy that I was working for, he was struggling to pay everybody, so I thought, well, I better do something quick. What can I do? And I thought, well, we'll start this up, we'll do children's parties with games. I didn't do magic back then because I didn't like magic, but I do magic now, and I think it's fantastic.
Is that right?
Absolutely. So absolutely love magic.
Yeah, I would imagine so. As a small child, there's nothing nicer, is there, than that illusion, that belief. So how did you get involved in the magic then?
The magic, it was something that grew out. Like I say, when I started off, I didn't really... because I've been involved in Scouting, I just wanted to do games and discos and mini discos and things like that for 4 and 5 year olds. But and I thought I'll do a little bit of magic, but what I found that the kids just loved the magic and they laughed. And it's not serious magic, I'm not Paul Daniels or anything like that. It's comedy magic, People wave, the kids wave a magic wand and it hits me on the hand, and rather than the book, it hits the hand, and I'm there reeling about with a sore hand, and there's different stuff. But the magic is one part of the children's magic shows and parties that we do. We do sort of an hour, or we do 2 hours of a party for children. And really, from the age of 3 upwards, we can do nursery rhymes and things like that, a little rhyme time. And then there's a full hour of games and songs with actions, and then there'll be a 40-minute magic show, comedy magic show, with a magic talking, a drawing board that talks all of a sudden.
A drawing board that talks.
Yeah, and I have some of those big fake lips, and we get somebody up and they'll sing a nursery rhyme with these big fake lips on, and a false voice sort of thing.
Wow.
And all the kids, they absolutely love it.
I could imagine
they're
that.
reeling around, they're screaming with laughter, which is fantastic. Which is what it's all about, enjoying yourself when it's your 5th birthday party. It's the big one. It's you've got all the kids from school. It's your first year at school, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got over 30 odd kids usually, and they want a fantastic time.
And it takes all the stress off the parents. How am I going to entertain these children? I remember that.
Yeah, it's my problem. Yeah,
that's right. Let someone else.
But we do different stuff. We do the magic shows. We have bouncy castle hire. We have soft play hire. We even have mobile laser quest, where we can bring a large 50-foot inflatable round to the village hall where you're having it, and they can play laser quest,
right?
And run around inside the tunnels and play that, and it's all sort of all around the same sort of price range of parties.
And in a way, as I say, the work with the Scouts and there's lots of kind of crossovers. I'm sure there must be there.
There is lots of crossovers, yeah. We get work. For example, we're on the I think we're on the international camp, hopefully, doing the laser quest for the kids,
right?
Which will be really fun for a full week up there playing a laser quest. There are different crossovers, and I do a beaver party every year, Christmas party. We were at Wellington Park this year in Leyland. It's all South Ribble District Beaver Scouts, so they're all 6 to 8 year olds, and I do all the beavers in the district. So there's a lot of them.
Lots to entertain.
That's it, yeah.
Brilliant. Well, give us some details. First of all, about the Scouts. Where can people find out more about Penwortham Scout Group?
Well, for Scout groups in South Ribble, it's best to really go on the South Ribble Scout Group website. So whether you're in Leyland or whether you're in Penwortham, or even in Preston, if you just Google South Ribble Scout Groups, then it'll come up with the South Ribble Scout Group website. And just take it from there. It's Susan Sullivan who you want to talk to for South Ribble. She's the district commissioner.
Susie Sullivan. Is that right?
Yes. She'll kill you for saying that.
All right. So she's the
district commissioner. Yeah, she's in charge of all the Scout groups in South Ribble.
Right. And Billy, where can people find out about the entertainment side of your world?
Well, if you go on www.billyspartytime.co.uk, there's a website, and it's got a fantastic picture of me on, and we've got all the different things that we can do on there, from bouncy castles to soft play to laser quest to the children's parties as well that we do we do them for school fairs and open days as well. We try and get on all the fairs and open days as well. So if you need garden parties or discos or anything like that, then give us a call.
And again, what is that address again?
It's www.billyspartytime.co.uk.
Brilliant. Can I thank you for coming in this morning? Thanks for that.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thanks for listening. If you've enjoyed today's interview, why not tweet Huey at Chat City PFM?